I'm in Montana right now, and I wanted to drop in to remind you that anything you imagine is possible. The plans you set for your life are in alignment with the plans that God has for you, that you and God are one, that God and the Creator and the one that is here in the body are all the same, that we are of one consciousness. And honestly, all of this has been coming through me a lot, and I went to a beautiful bookstore in Montana recently, and a lot of those ideas were in a lot of the books that the owner of the bookstore was showing me. And I started to realize, wow, there's a lot of people that have lived on earth that have come to the conclusion that we have one mind, that we are creators, that thought has created everything in existence, and everything we focus on is everything that we could possibly receive in our physical reality. So I just wanted to remind you of those things. Another thing that's been on my heart to share is that you might be feeling like you need to have a plan for your life. You might be feeling like you need to create some sort of project vision or goals or something like that. Make sure when you are moving forward on your path that you are being aware of the emotions that you're experiencing within you. We have been taught, most of us, I'm assuming, to change our physical environment to serve the emotional body, to use the physical environment to bring about certain emotions in the body, such as you feeling a certain way and feeling bad, and then thinking you could somehow change your physical reality to change the emotion you're feeling. It's actually also, that can be true, but also you can start with generating a certain emotional state within your body and then navigating your human experience. So if you are tuning into the feelings that you are experiencing in your body, realizing that there's no reason to take that personally. If you are experiencing a feeling of sadness or depression, you're not doing a bad job at being a human. And same for positive emotions. If you experience a lot of happiness and a lot of joy, it doesn't mean you're doing a good job at being a human. It's actually impossible to be bad or good at being a human. We all just are. We're here together in this moment, here and now, as who we are. We just are. So anyways, what I was saying with the emotional states in our body, when we are aware of the emotions that we are experiencing, we have a choice. The choice that is presented to us is, okay, I'm aware that I'm experiencing this emotion. And let's say I'm experiencing an emotion that I would put the word anxiety if I was going to give a label to this emotion in my body. Maybe I feel a little bit tense. Maybe it seems as though my thoughts are racing fast. Maybe it feels as if I'm in the wrong place and I should be doing something else. And I would describe that as a slightly anxious emotion. If I'm that person that's feeling that anxiousness of, I need to get this done, I need to make a plan, I need to move forward, if I'm feeling that way, what I would do as that person is take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, and I would become aware of what my physical body is touching. So for me right now in this moment, my bare feet are touching wood floor. I can feel the legs that are here. They're touching the clothes that I'm wearing. I can feel all the clothes on my body. I can feel the glasses on my nose. I can feel my hands together. And then I'm gonna notice some things I can see. I can see the carpet, I can see the table, I can see my camera, I can see this buffalo painting that you guys can see like a little bit of, the fireplace, this jacket. I'm gonna see if I smell anything. I actually can smell a little bit of a candle that I lit earlier. It's vanilla chai, I think, so I smell a little bit of that in the air. Honestly, it smells like evergreen in here a little bit. It could be just from going outside and coming back in. There are evergreens in a flower bouquet over there, actually. I should show you guys. There's this beautiful bouquet right here with some evergreens in it. So I think that could be where the evergreen smell is coming from. And already, as that person that was experiencing some anxiousness, it feels as though it's, oh, now you can see the buffalo. It feels as though it's floating away quite a bit. It feels, let's reassess now in the emotional body. I'm feeling joy. I'm feeling content, safety. That's what I'm noticing now. From simply becoming aware of what my body was touching and focusing on a few things that I see and focusing on smell. Our senses are so underrated. They are so powerful. And as you tune into the 5 senses, there is so much power within you that has the ability to expand. I feel that as spiritual beings that are having a spiritual experience, we so badly want to hack the code of reality and understand what it is we're experiencing. And that seems to come from a non-physical perspective. So we are tuning in, we're meditating, we're working on becoming as sensitive to non-physical frequency as we can be in order to evolve, ascend, expand our perception. However, when we take the time to tune into touch, taste, smell, sight, hearing, when we focus on even just one of those senses at a time. One of my favorites to focus on is hearing when there's really beautiful music playing. I love to maybe put a blindfold on, not be doing anything with my hands, and simply just listen and notice how deep my awareness of the sound that I am witnessing can become. And that experience in itself is highly pleasurable from my point of view and my perspective of being one that has experienced that many times. It's wonderful to find a way to interact and have a relationship with each one of the 5 senses at once. But then also another exciting thing to do is what I just did just now, is being aware of all of the senses in a little quick way where you're like, okay, what am I touching? What is my body touching right now? And you can do it right now as you're watching this video. What is my body touching right now? Even grabbing something and touching it and feeling it and I'm feeling the wood of the table now. I can feel the wood of the ladder. And just, this is a way of worship for me in my perception, coming from the perspective that everything is energy, that everything is love, that God is love, that God is energy. When I choose to just take a moment to appreciate the wood, to appreciate where this piece of material came from and how beautiful it is, using the awareness of my sight to notice the sight of this piece of wood and allowing my focus to gravitate towards this one object in my point of view is, in my opinion, a form of worship. I'm choosing to slow down and say, thank you, God, for giving me this opportunity to be aware of this object here, for giving me the gift of touch, for then moving into the body. Wow, my body is so powerful and magical that I have these sensory abilities that I can place my hand on a piece of wood and I know that I'm touching a piece of wood, that my brain is connected to my hand. I am, yes, fascinated with understanding why we're here, who we are, yet in all the questions that remain unanswered, in my opinion, from my perspective, there are so many questions that are answered that because we're striving to answer these questions and to solve these riddles of what we don't know about reality, the things that we do know about reality, such as my brain is connected to my hands in a way that I can touch this piece of wood, and we know how that happens. In college, I remember taking anatomy and physiology and learning all about the way that the body was connected and how it is that we are sensing certain things. And there are certain neurons in the brain and certain sensory receptors on the hands that allow us to be able to feel what it is we're feeling through the sensation of touch. That is something so magnificent that we have discovered, that we can arrive at the discovery of, and we can experience that and feel so much joy for that. We can be so excited for that and realize, wow, we know this. Wow, we've discovered this. I feel like even in my own experience, I just noticed myself striving for more and wanting to feel more and do more. Yet there's this other behavior that comes through when I find myself in a deeper state of presence, when I notice what I'm touching, what I'm tasting, what I'm smelling, what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing, when I bring myself into union with the five senses, when I find myself grounded in this one present moment. I can almost sit back and realize, wow, there are so many incredible scientists, poets, authors, creators. Their presence is in this room right now because I have this beautiful bookshelf behind me that has so many books here that I could possibly gain a tiny piece of that person's consciousness, for them to be the creator that created what's here. There's so much around me, within me, that is available. And maybe it's time, as a collective, as humans on this earth, we decide to push, slow down, pause, maybe even press the brake on trying to create anything new, trying to discover anything new, unless it's in your heart and you're burning to discover something new, unless it feels healthy and exciting and enticing to discover something new. However, I noticed this sensation in me today where, I guess, and this is a little bit of a paradox because I am creating something new by creating this video. However, when I got very analytical and in my head and wanted to decide what kind of video I was gonna make and be intentional about it, I felt so restricted, and I felt that little anxious feeling, and I knew in my awareness of my guidance system that that pathway doesn't seem to be favored by my spirit, because my spirit is communicating me through the guidance system that is my ability to sense my emotions. And I'm sensing this emotion that feels uncomfortable and it feels undesirable. And so I'm going, okay, let me not move into that direction. What direction does feel good? And before I knew it, I was here in this moment. We're about to be 13 minutes into this talk that I find incredibly riveting. I feel like I'm embodying a new personality, which I feel like there's so many different personalities in all my videos. You'll see them if you're new to the channel. Maybe you haven't seen them yet, but there's so many different energies that we could possibly embody, and it's so exciting to have a new personality appear, this personality that's so excited about the five senses. I didn't even know I was excited to talk about the five senses until I got here and participated in that presence exercise of noticing how I was feeling in my body and seeing the sights and smelling the smells of this current present moment and sharing that with you. And then suddenly I'm on this new pathway of discussing something that I had no plans to discuss, and now we're here, and this is my style of creation. This is what you can expect from my YouTube channel. I find myself, when I'm not on camera, constantly questioning and pondering, what is it that I'm creating? What is the theme of this YouTube channel? What's the structure? I want to have a vision. I want some organization here. I'm a Pisces sun, and I can be quite in the flow, wishy-washy. And I see also so many other creators, which I know comparison is the thief of joy. I should not be comparing myself to other creators, but I see these other creators with themes and organization, and me, I just turn my camera on and I go, and I don't know if that's really the side I want to show. Do I want to let go of trying to compete and realize the best me I can be is right here? And let me be clear, what I wanted to talk about was the theme of the expression that you can expect here, and I'm realizing as it unfolds and as I create that, I'm here to be in the state that I'm in, to share the light that I'm seeing, to be freeing the consciousness that we are, to connect to the greatest star that we are, because we have so much light to give and to gain. We're the ones that enjoy dancing in the rain because it connects us to earth. We're here to birth an entirely new way of being. I'm so excited about this. I actually just had a vision pop into my head of a beautiful in-person community where all of us are together sharing everything. I don't know if it's a full-time community. Yeah, it's a full-time community. It's not just an event. It actually looks like a festival to me. That's why for a second when that vision came in, I was thinking, oh, maybe it's an event, but it's a full-time community. And what I'm realizing is so cool about me being on video as I'm receiving these visions, as I'm seeing stuff open up in my third eye, is that now it's gonna be tracked and it's gonna be on camera. And instead of me tuning into my past and remembering a time that I had a vision and I knew what the vision was and then I got to see it in my reality and share the process, I'm realizing, oh, I don't need to go back in time and reflect on my past and tell stories from the past. I mean, maybe I can if I enjoy to do that, but I'm realizing I don't even need to do that, because if I want to show you how it is that I've been creating and what it is that I'm experiencing in accordance with the power of manifestation, the power of creation, and waking up to the divine version of self that we all are, I can show you the live process of, wow, I was just sitting here talking and I got this flash and I saw it and it was this beautiful group of people and it looked like a music festival. However, it's a full-time community and all of us are living there. The vision I have now, which this might change in the future, I'm not attached to it, but I have this feeling that we are all going to be operating on such a high frequency and such a high level that we'll be able to give the cash, the money that we have, to a collective fund, and within the community we'll be able to live without the use of money, that we'll have fashion designers that are creating the clothing that we want to wear, that this designer will be aware of each one of us, and we will trust this person, this group of people, these fashion designers, to be creating for our community. We've got entertainers, we've got chefs cooking up the meals, we've got builders, construction workers, but every single person, the requirement for being in this community is having a high level of passion for what it is that you do. What it is that you do is exciting to you. What it is that you do matters deeply to you. And if you are a part of the community, and at one point in the community, maybe you came in as a chef and now you're not feeling as lit up and as passionate about it, I would hope that the system that we have in our community, through the non-physical consciousness that all of us are operating at, as well as the physical choices, thoughts, emotions, and vibrations that we're choosing to emit and charge and live in the space, I would hope that that community would be able to have that person that's not really passionate about cooking on this day to be able to go explore and be passionate about writing on that day. And it would be this beautiful, even exchange where we could always count on Mother Earth to provide that. Yes, we've got this group of chefs that we depend on to give food to the community, but we're not viewing them as our source of security and our source of food, because we realize that Mother Earth, Father Sky, Universe, God, that energy that we all are connected to is working through all of us. And as we allow that divine energy to fully embody us, we realize that we don't have to have any sort of control in this environment, that it can be very free flowing, because when one of us thinks, I really need this, I really want this, and we're focused on it, the rest of the collective is aware of that. All of us meditating together, all of us living together, all of us connecting to the land together, all of us in this vibration of we love each other so much, we trust each other so much. These are loving relationships with a foundation of trust built. I love this project. This feels like my life work. This feels like a project that's important to me. And I'm speaking to it here on YouTube. I'm speaking power into it, one, because I want to share the journey. I want to share how you can get a flash of inspiration, you can get a dream coming to you, and you can talk about it, and you can feel powerful about it, and it doesn't have to exist. It doesn't even have to come into form. The fact is that manifestation, the act of dreaming of something that does not physically exist, is so thrilling and wonderful in itself. And I wanted to express that because I feel like in the past I was so reliant on, and I don't even want to say it this way, I'm gonna backtrack and say, I want to say I'm sensing a level of consciousness that is in the physical world that is almost turned off or put into a negative state by any sort of non-physical idea or inspiration that they receive, because they don't believe that they are the one that could possibly create the environment or the place or allow reality to come into physical union with what it is that that person non-physically received. And I want to say to that person, you have to believe in yourself. Bring your belief in yourself into a higher level, because you need to believe in yourself as God, and you need to believe in God as yourself. Not saying, oh, I'm God, I created all of this, but just realizing you're a fragment, you're a piece. We're fractals. We are fractals of the same one. The mind is one, God is one, love is one. We're in that energy, that one love, one God, Christ consciousness energy. So we are not responsible for creating what it is that we are receiving visions of. What we are receiving visions of is simply a possibility in the quantum field that already exists in space and time. And the universe is simply sending you that image, sending you that inspiration, sending you that guidance of, oh my gosh, what if you did this with your life? What if you went to New York and lived in a penthouse suite with a collective of creatives? Would you enjoy that? And you then are responsible for responding. You're not responsible for going all, oh, I have to get into action, I have to create this because I saw this in a vision. It's you communicating with the divine, you communicating with the non-physical consciousness that is tuned into every single possible potential in reality. And that vision, that idea of a certain reality that you could possibly tune into is coming into the mind to then commune with the heart. So the heart sees the vision, and the heart is going to choose based on the way that you're wired: excitement, joy, openness, happiness, or despair, contraction, upset, anxiousness. And so if the divine is sending you this vision of, oh, wow, moving to New York, living in New York in a penthouse suite with 4 different creators, and we all live together and we're creating things, and it's really great, really amazing energy. The universe, source, the version of you that is in full non-physical form, able to manipulate this reality from a higher level, is tuning into your heart to then feel how you feel as the human that's on earth experiencing this human life, because we have free will. Okay, how does that person feel about this thing? Because if you elicit positive emotions to a vision of the future, that's how you're going to communicate with God, universe, source, creator. You're communicating with that energy, that higher power energy, to let that higher power know, yes, my body's a yes for this. Now, let's say that image comes to me of this New York apartment, and I'm contracted. I'm like, how would I move to New York? And that's expensive. And what would I do? And I'm upset, and I'm getting this vision. Okay, that can't go in motion right now. If it's something that's in alignment with a timeline that the universe knows you want to be an artist, even though you shudder and fear every time you hear artist, you're like, oh no. But maybe the universe knows that you are destined to become that's been in your soul contract, that's here as a possibility on earth. It's going to send that vision to you again, and you're going to feel it. And if you continue to feel contracted and pushed away from a timeline and experience a physical reality that would bring you great joy and great happiness to be experiencing, yet it puts you in a state of fear and you're not sure, that's when I believe the non-physical realm that is attempting to communicate you, to guide you, to show you the next steps on your journey, I believe that that's when, and I've heard this before, that God starts with a whisper, and I feel like receiving the visions and receiving the inspiration, the ideas, that's the whisper, and then God's going to talk to you. So then that non-physical consciousness that's creating reality for you that exists non-locally in the quantum field is going to then be asking you through a person. Someone's going to come up to you, hey, are you an artist? Or maybe you're walking down the street and you see the word artist and you keep seeing that word everywhere. Or maybe a YouTube video pops up on your feed and it's a tarot card reading and it's about your purpose in life, and you feel really drawn to pile number 3, and then the tarot reader starts telling you, wow, you've got to slow down and listen. Universe is showing, you know what I mean? Like, it's that. Life is talking to us. Life is speaking to us, and we are speaking to life. We are in a union. We are in a communication with this beautiful non-physical consciousness, non-local consciousness that exists beyond time and space that can guide us through our lives. I've been reading about the archangels, and it shows me that the archangels, there's a book that showed me that the archangels live in a realm beyond space and time, that they are not limited to space or time, that if 4 different people around the world are all praying to Archangel Michael, all in the same physical time on earth, that archangel can be able to work with all of those 4 different people, because that archangel is not bound by space or time. And I thought that was very interesting to read about that. I also believe that the consciousness that is us, that is me, that is you watching this video, I believe that we also exist in a realm where our energy is beyond space and time. I believe that because of the experiences that I've been having. And I am going to show you a story of one of the times that happened to me, the first time that it ever happened to me. That feels like it really goes with this, and this video is going to be a little bit of a long one. So when I was turning 24 years old, I was at a Dr. Joe Dispenza retreat in Mexico, and the retreat took place at an all-inclusive resort, and I was so excited to be there. It was something that felt so important to me. I've been very inspired by the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza for many years, and it was very, very exciting to go to this event. Looking back, I do wish I would have waited a little bit longer to do a retreat like that. Next time I go, I definitely want to set more intentions for myself and have more of an idea of what it is that I'm desiring, because when you are in a meditation retreat, even going into a meditation in general, if you're able to connect with your higher power and you just directly connect, whatever you focus on is going to be coming into form so quickly. So at that time, I wasn't 100% sure about what I wanted, and I felt like it was difficult for me to be in that environment not knowing who I was fully. And I recommend to anyone who questions who they are to listen to who you are in this moment and allow who you are in this moment to guide you forward, because who I am in this moment is someone that's choosing to tune into regret. I see I'm choosing to tune into all these regrets about this event, and there's so many positives from the events too. So I don't know why I just went into a negative right away when telling this story, but I guess part of me is sad that I've only been to one Dr. Joe Dispenza retreat, and I know I'm so lucky to be able to have gone once, but I strongly desire to attend another retreat, and I strongly desire to come into a Dr. Joe Dispenza retreat with an open heart, with possibly experiencing a 3 or 4 day silent Ari retreat, so I can be silent with myself and have pen and paper and write down some things and get clear on some things before entering an environment like that, because the vibration is so high and everybody is meditating for probably 8 hours every single day, and it's 7 days. So you really get to go beyond the veil and see what reality is and understand the quantum field in a whole new way. You're waking up at 4 a.m. to do a meditation where you're connecting with your pineal gland, which the pineal gland is also known as the third eye, and it's the part of the brain that allows you to see into every single dimension in time and space that you desire to see. As you're meditating, whatever you focus on, you will travel into that non-physical location, and you will be very, very aware of the holographic nature of the physical world. It's incredible. This retreat opened up my awareness to be able to see the truth of imagination. In my perspective, at my current level of consciousness, I believe the imagination to be the multifaceted, multi-dimensional portal that allows life to unfold through our physical bodies, through our physical experience. So I'm gonna close this window for a sec. A breeze just came in and clipped and open these. But maybe it's a good sign that I should walk around outside with you guys. Connect with a new consciousness of the trees. Woo! It's so cold though. It's so cold, and I just came out there with bare feet. All right. I don't know why I said new consciousness of the trees. Like, I don't know if that even made sense, but I just noticed that came out of me, and I'm like, okay. New consciousness of the trees. All right. Let me just close these windows. Doors. They're doors, not windows. Okay. All right. I'm a little bit socially awkward if you haven't noticed. I am trying my best to be comfortable with talking. So anyways, all right. I think I'm doing pretty great so far. So, yes, so I was at this retreat and there was a beautiful, beautiful group of human beings that asked me to go to dinner with them, and I said yes. And at this dinner, one of the people started talking about the Japanese restaurant that was at the retreat center. And as he began telling his story about the Japanese restaurant, in my third eye, I got a vision of myself with a birthday candle surrounded by a group of people, and I was experiencing this, and I realized this is a potential in the quantum field that I could choose to merge with. Long story short, because I do have a sound healing meditation that I want to go experience in town, and I know I need to go soon, and this video is 30 minutes, so I can tell the story in a more detailed way in another video. I'm sure I'll tell the story so many times in my life because it's one of my favorite stories to tell. It's my first time I ever realized that my brain was receiving visions of potentials in time and space that could possibly exist. Like the whole existence before that, I was just imagining things and then continuing about my day-to-day existence, having no awareness that everything that was coming into my field to be observed by my third eye, to be observed by my imagination, to be seen and heard and felt, was a potential that I could merge my consciousness with, thus co-creating reality with the non-physical consciousness that God is, that we are. So yeah, I ended up showing up at this Japanese restaurant at this Mexican resort where I had no reservation. It was fully booked, and the woman next to me in line, there's a whole long story of how it went through, but the woman in line next to me invited me to her table. I ended up having a beautiful meal with these awesome people, and then at the end of the night they gave me a birthday candle, and I stood there in that moment, letting that moment be. I don't even think I had the intention to want it to stay in my memory, but I was so mesmerized and so in awe that I had first seen the candle. In my mind, I had seen in my mind the candle, and I had seen in my mind this group of people singing happy birthday, and I had come into the moment in the physical world to realize that something was non-physically given to me, and I made the choice to show up to have it be physically given to me. That everything that you see in your imagination is possible. And if you're receiving something in your imagination that you don't want to experience, that maybe is not something that you would favor, there are ways to move that. There are ways to train your body and your mind to be in a state of coherence to allow the best possible timelines from a certain frequency that you are experiencing joy and happiness and enlightenment in, for you to merge your consciousness with that type of energy to then receive those possibilities. But if we're operating from a lower plane of consciousness, fear, anxiety, distress, doubt, we're going to be receiving images of realities that are in alignment with that frequency. So that's why it's so important, I mentioned this at the beginning of the video, to be in tune with our emotional body and to generate the emotional states that we desire to experience in this moment and moving forward, to allow our lives to be the best possible life that they possibly can be while we are in these bodies, while we are having this experience. Because if we are in this experience right now, anything is possible from this moment here and now. And as we generate a positive feeling state in our bodies, we open up our minds to the realities that we truly enjoy and that we truly love. I'm gonna stop the flow here, end the video here. That was a lot. If you enjoyed this video, definitely leave a comment below. If you're interested in receiving personalized one-on-one guidance from Ari, you can click the link in my bio. There's a form with a couple questions about where you are right now and who you are, and I just want to get to know you a little bit, and then we can pick a date and a time for us to connect to have some personalized one-on-one guidance together. I also have some books that I've written that mean a lot to me, that come from my heart, from the creative energy in me, that there's links in the bio for that. If you want to send me a donation, if you feel like you just sat at a lecture that you should have paid for, send me a donation. I'm in love with money and I love to experience money, and money is a beautiful tool that is not completely necessary, apparently, in my new community that could possibly be created. Click the link there for that. And if you're interested in learning more about how I travel, one of the ways that I do that is with Trusted House Sitters. Trusted House Sitters is a beautiful website that allows you to connect with families all over the world that are in need of house sitters and dog sitters while they are off on vacation. You can connect with these people and you could be staying in a beautiful home, having a beautiful new experience for free. And the link in my bio to join Trusted House Sitters, it gives you 25% off on your membership, and then I get 2 free months of my membership when you sign up. So if you'd like to sign up, if you heard about it from me and you thought it was a great idea, you can click that link in the bio, and it's a win-win for both of us. I'm pretty sure those are all the links that exist in my bio right now. And if you're still watching, thank you so much for being here. I'm so happy that we were able to share this time and space together. I want to finish this video, complete this energetic exchange with a prayer. I'm sending the vibration of love and joy and peace to the being that is here experiencing this sight and sound of the voice of Ari. And I just want to say, from the connection that I have with my higher self, that you are also in union with your highest self to the highest magnitude that's possible in every single moment, that you're receiving clear communication that allows you to travel to your highest timeline, that you, my friend, are experiencing a life of great passion, that you have all the newest fashions, that you get to dress how you want to dress, that there is no stress, that you're always, always free and able to attest to the power that you are dancing in union with the star that is the light that shines bright as you choose to express who it is that you truly are. I'm so grateful that I was able to be here in this space with you. It's a great honor that you've chosen to allow my expression to exist in your space. Thank you so much for being so magnificent and wonderful. Continue doing everything you do that lights up your spirit, and slowly allow the things that don't light up your spirit to fall away. That's all I have to say today.